Chapter 3. How your brain and body react to stress. In the previous chapter, we learned to identify our personal stress triggers. Now that we know what exactly triggers anxiety in our brain, it's time to understand what happens next. What gets activated inside us when we feel tension? Understanding the biochemical stress response is key to learning how to manage it. Stress isn't just an abstract feeling. It's a complex physiological process that affects all systems of our body. In moments of danger, whether it's a real predator or an urgent work deadline, our brain instantly launches the ancient protective mechanism, the fight-or-flight response. When the brain recognizes a threat, it sends a signal to the hypothalamus, a small part of the brain that acts as the command center. The hypothalamus, in turn, activates the sympathetic nervous system and adrenal glands. At this moment, a true hormonal explosion occurs. Adrenaline. This hormone is released into the bloodstream first. It causes increased heart rate, elevated blood pressure, and faster breathing. Adrenaline gives you an instant energy boost, so you can either fight or flee. Cortisol. The stress hormone starts being produced a little later. It raises blood sugar levels to provide extra fuel for the brain and muscles. Cortisol also temporarily suppresses functions that aren't critically important during danger, such as digestion and the immune system. In the wild, this reaction was perfect. Once the danger passed, the body would return to its normal state. But in the modern world, where stress has become chronic, this system works differently. Deadlines, conflicts, financial problems, all of these are perceived by the brain as constant threats. Adrenaline and cortisol aren't just released into the bloodstream, they circulate there almost constantly. This leads to serious consequences. How chronic stress affects body systems. Prolonged exposure to cortisol and other stress hormones depletes the body. It affects everything from your mood to your physical health. Central nervous system. The nervous system is the main command center. Chronic stress literally overloads it. Long-term tension leads to the following problems. Insomnia. Constant adrenaline release prevents the brain from relaxing. Even if you're very tired, it's hard for you to fall asleep. Anxiety and irritability. The nervous system becomes hypersensitive. Minor things that you previously ignored now upset you. Memory and concentration problems. High cortisol levels negatively affect the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning. As a result, it becomes difficult to concentrate, and you start forgetting simple things. Immune system. Cortisol temporarily suppresses the immune system so the body can direct all energy towards fighting the threat. If stress becomes constant, the immune system weakens. Frequent illnesses. You become more vulnerable to colds, flu, and other infections. Delayed healing. Wounds and illnesses take longer to heal than usual. Exacerbation of chronic conditions. Chronic conditions like allergies, asthma, or autoimmune diseases may worsen. Digestive system. Under stress, the body considers digestion a non-essential function. Blood flows away from the stomach and intestines, moving towards the muscles. This leads to Bear disease, irritable bowel syndrome, sudden spasms, pain, diarrhea, or constipation. Appetite disorders. In some people, stress causes loss of appetite, while in others it leads to a desire to eat away problems, often resulting in weight gain. Heaviness and heartburn. Insufficient blood supply to the stomach can lead to indigestion and heartburn. Cardiovascular system. Adrenaline and cortisol increase heart rate and narrow blood vessels to deliver oxygen to the muscles. Elevated blood pressure. Constantly high pressure can lead to hypertension, a serious condition that increases the risk of heart attack and stroke. Rapid heartbeat. You may feel your heart pounding in your chest, even at rest. Muscular system. In a state of stress, muscles tense up, preparing for action. If this tension doesn't pass, it turns into chronic. Muscle tension. You may constantly feel that your shoulders are tight and your neck and back hurt. Headaches, frequent pressing headaches that start from the neck and occiput. Jaw clenching. You may unconsciously clench your jaws, leading to pain and discomfort. Self-diagnosis. Checklist for the reader. Now that you know how stress manifests on a physical level, you can pay closer attention to your body. Try going through this small checklist. Mark all the points you've noticed recently. Physical manifestations of stress in my body, constant fatigue, even after sleep, trouble falling asleep or frequent awakenings at night, frequent colds and weakened immunity, feeling that the neck, shoulder, or back muscles are constantly tense, frequent headaches, digestive problems, heartburn, bloating, discomfort, changes in appetite, loss of appetite, or conversely, cravings for junk food, increased sweating, cold or clammy palms, rapid heartbeat or the sensation of a pounding heart, unexplained body pain. If you marked at least several of these points, it's a sure sign that your body is in a state of chronic stress. These symptoms aren't just side effects. They're a cry for help that your body is sending before burnout sets in. It's important to understand that chronic stress isn't just a problem of the mind. It has real physical consequences, and it needs to be addressed on all levels. We can't just tell ourselves, "Stop worrying." We need to give our body and mind tools for recovery and returning to balance. In the following chapters, we'll explore how to do this. We'll learn to bring the body out of the fight or flight state into a state of calm and relaxation. We'll use techniques aimed not at fighting symptoms, but at eliminating root causes, both external and internal. Your path to calmness is not only mental but also physical work. And now you're ready for it because you know how stress works from within.